Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim and welcome back to Saxlingham. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a brilliant day. So, I do apologise to those of you who have been following this series from the very start and who've kept up with it. I apologise that it's been a little while now since I've done an episode here. It's been, I think, a little under 2 months. I think the last episode was published around the 12th of January, just before Llama. And it's just, you know, real life, other content as well gets in the way. Real life predominantly, unfortunately, in the minute. These last few weeks have been way hectic. But yeah, so I do apologise. Excuses out the way. But I've been itching to get back on it. I really have. I love playing this series, this game save in particular, with this incredible farm and the fact that we've got so much to focus on, so much to do. We're in March. We've still got a few jobs that need to be done within this month. One of them being I want to be drilling our cash crop of canola here in field 37. I need to get that done by the end of March. Last episode we spread some manure on our relatively recently acquired field 16 here. We spread some manure and we drilled the potatoes in there. That is also a cash crop as well. Now I spread the manure in that to try and make some use of our natural fertilizer that we've got loads of on the farm here because we've got so many animals. We've got our cows, we've got pigs, we've got sheep, so we have a lot of manure, we have a lot of slurry. Now I need to make use of that at the minute. We've got just over 150,000 litres of manure and we've got just over 350,000 litres of slurry. Now we've still got a few fields to drill. We've got, what have we got now? Field 39 I want to get drilled with some soybeans, field 42 with some sorghum and field 46 with sunflowers. We can't drill those till next month, but we've got 50,000 litres of liquid fertilizer in the tank here on our just in front of us in that green tank, and we do also have our sprayer. So what I think I'm going to do, one thing I do want to do ideally in this episode, is I'm going to invest a little bit of money into a biogas plant. Now those of you who are familiar with Saxlingham know that especially if you're a newcomer to the map Saxlingham, when you jump into the PDA for the first time, you'll be forgiven for thinking that there isn't actually a biogas plant here, but there is. It's down here just next to the dealership. Now if you want to buy the biogas plant, you've got to buy the plot of land that it sits on, and then it will appear on in the map PDA as a production system that you own. That costs just over £1 million, 1,043,000 and change to be precise. So I haven't got £1,000,000. I'm not doing too bad. I've got 340 grand in the bank, but I don't have £1,000,000. So mods to the rescue. Now this mod has been around for quite some time now. It is by Disturbed Simulations. It's called the mini biogas plant. Sorry. It was around for Farm Sim 22, and it was relatively quickly remade for Farm Sim 25. Now I used this back in 22 on my Court Farm series, and I also utilised it in my very first series here in Farm Sim 25 over on Riverbend Springs. It's a cracking little mod. It does everything that a biogas plant does. This one in particular does a bit more. When you download the mod, it'll have 4 variants of it. You've got the standard version, you've got the version that has a little bit of extra detail when it comes to recipes, and you've got a fast version of both of those as well. So the fast version of what's called the cow and the standard version as well. So cracking little mod. I'm just going to be using the standard fast version, I think, on this one because it just has the production rate increased a bit. So yeah, I'm going to be taking advantage of that. And I've got a parcel of land that we have actually owned since the very beginning of this series, but I've not actually done anything with it. It's just on the other side of the house over there. We might be able to see it if I wander around the back here very quickly. It's just a little patch of grassland that has gate access to it. If I just force my way through my hedges here, yep, this is it here. I'm going to place it somewhere in this field. Just make use of this little bit of land because we haven't done anything with that. We've got plenty of grass fields already and arable fields as well. So yeah, I'm going to pop it down in there at some point during this episode, and we're going to put what we have in our animal barns into there to get a bit more of a residual income into the bank, because we do the other bit of a residual income that we do get now and again is from our spinnery and tailor production systems that we've got around there nearby the sheep. So yeah, that gives us a bit of an income each month, you know, from the production of the clothes and then the automatic selling of them. But that's just been ticking away nicely in the background. Really the only thing I have to do with that is just load up the wool from the sheep into the spinnery and job's a good one. So yeah, that's one of the things I want to do. I want to get that biogas plant placed down. Like I say, I want to try and drill some canola. Whether I get that done in this episode or not, I'm not too sure because it is an extremely big field. The other job I need to do is I need to tot up the fertilizer levels of the field of potatoes, field 16. like I said, we threw some manure in there in the last episode, but it still needs another somewhere in the region of about 60 kilograms a hectare adding to it. So for that, we're going to be, for the first time, using our John Deere sprayer over there. We're going to throw some liquid fertilizer into it from this tank. I'm going to go and top that up, and then that can be dealt with. One of the other jobs I need to do is to run the cultivator over field, I think it's field 39, that was the sunflower field that we harvested a couple of episodes ago. We need to run the cultivator in that and turn that around, because that is going to be soybeans come next month when we get that drilled as well. Now, one thing I did want to do before I crack on with any work is showcase a couple of mods that I now have running in this save. One of them I'm not going to be able to showcase till we get some tools out and get into the field. Those of you who are familiar with Scroft, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you are, he very recently, I think it was yesterday, released a video or a mod showcase for an incredibly amazing mod by Oz, and it's called Field Gulls. Now, this basically produces a visual and a population of land gulls that you will see populating around your tools when you run a few certain jobs in your fields, that being ploughing, cultivating, seeding or drilling. You will then see a load of gulls flock around your implement at the back of your tractor as you're turning the soil over and working the soil, and I think it is just mega. It really is. The level of cleverness and ingenuity that we're getting from the mods now that we're seeing in Farm Sim 25 is just brilliant. Oz and Ritter as well, another incredible modder who's out there in my community as well, which I'm very grateful for having him in there. He's been making some mega mods. He really has. Him and Oz and NX Modding as well. Has been making some incredible mods for Farm Sim 25, and I've got a few of those mods now running in this series, like I say. So we've got Field Gulls that we want to get, hopefully try and get that put to the test at some point today, and we can do the cultivating work in field 39, or we can do the drilling work in field 37, and hopefully we should be able to see that in action. Now, I haven't actually tested it myself yet. We'll be doing that hopefully, like I say, in today's episode. And I also, like I say, want to throw in the liquid fertilizer onto the potatoes, which I think that's what I'm going to get done first. So we're going to go and jump in the New Holland. But the other mod I did want to very quickly showcase to you. Now, this one's been around for a little over 2 weeks now, and it's by Ritter, and it is called the Adjust Storage Capacity mod, and it is absolutely brilliant. Of course, it's for PC only, because it does work on scripts and all that, but it's so clever. It really is so clever. Now, this is a mod that does away with the job of having to, as a PC player, of having to go into XML files if you wanted to and edit capacities of certain things. It makes that job so much easier. So say, for example, I wanted to change the capacity of this Richard Weston trailer. You just walk up to it, you press K, boom, there you go, and it brings up a little menu there that says, and as you can see, we have the base game capacity here of 23,390 litres in this trailer. I'll just give that a double click, and let's just say, for example, I want to change that to 40,000 litres. There you go. Hit enter. Boom. That trailer now has a capacity of 40,000 litres. And this works with everything. Now, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to just demonstrating it. But you can, if you want to reset it, you can just click on that. It goes back to the standard capacity. Absolutely brilliant. It really is. Now, this works for anything that has a fill capacity, basically. It doesn't. The only thing it doesn't work for is bunker silos and storage containers and systems that deal with pallets and bales. It doesn't alter the, you can't alter the capacity of those. But anything like a trailer, like a silage trailer, like a seeder, like this thing here, for example, the drill that we've got, we can just walk up to that, press K, and you can change the capacity of its seeds and solid fertilizer to anything you want at all. It works with the potato harvester there, works with any of these bits of equipment, the potato drill there. It also works with tractors. You can give it more fuel, a bigger def tank, a bigger air tank. So if it has it, just click K there, give it a bigger diesel tank, DEF fluid or air as well, and it's just mega. You can do it on the fly when you're driving along as well. If you've got a trailer or any kind of implement attached to the tractor that you're in, you can do it while you're driving. You just press K while you're in the vehicle, and you can change them all on the fly. It's just mega. You can do it for your storage tanks here on the farm. You've got to get there you go, get the positioning right, but yeah, I can increase the capacity of that. And it also works for silos. This is one of my MA7 silos here that I've got on the farm. It has, I think at the minute, it's got a capacity of 500,000 litres. You've got to get it to a specific point on this one, which I found to be here. But I just go to here, press K, and I can change the overall capacity of the barn here, of the silo here, and it's just genius. It really is. It's very clever. Now, of course, that, you know, it's not necessarily going to suit everybody. Those of you who are, you know, really focused on the realism side of things, you know, it is what it is. But for me, when, you know, I have altered XMLs in the past, and the one thing it does for me that I really do appreciate is it just saves a whole load of time. Not ordinarily, if you want to change the capacity of some kind of mod, you have to go into the XML, you have to make that change to the XML, come in and out. It's not too much hard work, don't get me wrong, but you've got to change those values in the XML file and come in and out the game, save it, and that's it. But the one thing that it does do for me, and this is the thing that I really appreciate about it, is if the mod that you're looking to alter is from the mod hub, as soon as you alter that mod, you will be reminded, especially as a PC player, because console players can't necessarily do this, you will be reminded that that mod needs updating. Now, I have a handful of mods, for example, my JCB that I've got here, because I've got a prefab engine sound installed in that tractor. I'm constantly reminded by the in-game update section of this game that it needs updating, which I know it doesn't, because it's just because I've changed it so that the mod is different to the one that's on the mod hub. But it's one of those things, it's just always there. So doing it this way with that capacity mod stops that from happening, which I really appreciate. It just basically alters it for that particular save that you're in, as long as you've got the that capacity mod installed. So it is really clever. So yeah, I will pop links to all of these mods in the video description below. The field goals mod is in beta stage at the minute. I think that is is just on Ozzy's Discord. So whether I can post a link to that or not, I'm not too sure, but we shall see. So anyway, yeah, there we go. A couple of mods that I've mentioned, of course. Like I say, we'll hopefully put the field goals mod to the test in a wee while, when we either drill or we cultivate. Now, with everything else on the farm, everything else is pretty much doing okay. All the animals are reasonably well fed, they're stocked up, they're doing well, they're healthy. Now this is, so yeah, so I'm just going to be focusing on a bit of field work for today's episode, getting a bit done, and a bit of construction work. This is the bit of land here that I'm going to be doing, placing my BGA. I think I'm going to place it somewhere around there, in the corner of the field there, because it's nice and small and out of the way. Do a bit of landscaping work to create a bit of a drive into it and out. That's the idea. And then I'll be able to throw in my manure and my slurry into there, and we'll be able to get a bit more residual income every month from that, because we do you can earn decent money from a BGA when you're producing electricity and methane and all that, and we've got plenty of product to use in it, because we've got plenty of animals. We're never going to run out of manure and slurry, or it's always going to be a constant. So yeah, but one thing I am going to do is take advantage of the adjustable storage capacity mod when I've got that BGA placed down, and I hope, be able to adjust the capacities to suit the amount of product that I want to put in there, because 350,000 litres of slurry, off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what the storage capacity size is of that biogas plant, so I'll play it by ear when I place it down, but I think I may have to take advantage of that storage capacity mod and see what I can do with it. So anyway, yeah. But for now, like I say, we're going to jump into our potato field here on our left, throw roughly about 60 kilograms per hectare down of this liquid fertilizer. Now this particular sprayer that we've got behind us is fitted with it's got the see and spray for the herbicide, and it does have the pulse width modulation as well fitted to it. So I'm pretty confident, although I do say this every time and get it wholeheartedly wrong, but I'm relatively confident that this 3,360 litres that we have in the tank behind us should go the distance and get this field done. This sprayer is 24 metres in width, and I'm going to try my very best to run in the direction of the rows of the potatoes to keep things looking good. I will probably run one headland, I think, just to make sure the edges are all done, but yeah, just try and run in the correct direction with these rows. And there we go. Yeah, seems to be going down relatively slowly. I think it will go the distance, but let me just bring that to a stop very quickly and just jump out and have a quick look-see and look at the numbers. So if we jump into this patch of field that has not been sprayed, we're looking at currently 65 kilograms a hectare, an expected yield of 92%. Okay, that still says the nitrogen is bad, but we then come behind the sprayer. Perfect levels, 120 kilograms, expected yields of 99%. So what we got there, about 7, possibly 8%, give or take a bit across the field. Increase in yield, and in potatoes that could stand for quite a decent number of, quite a decent yield, and a decent number, and a decent financial benefit when it comes to it, because this is a cash crop. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing. So let's get this thing cracked on with. Shouldn't take us too long, I don't think. Get that turned on. Stick some tunes on there. There we go. Let's get cracking. Right, not long left to go now, just finishing off the headland. As you can see, quantity-wise, just under 50%, so the pulse width modulation tech that we've got fitted to this sprayer has done the job. So yeah, it's going to go the distance, as it were. But the yield is all up to where it should be now for these potatoes, which is great. But while we're on Saxlingham, one of the things that I did want to touch base on while I'm playing on Saxlingham is just to bring up the fact Saxlingham is still an extremely popular map. One of the reasons why I say this is over on my Discord we had a bit of a vote recently as for what map to switch over to on our multiplayer server that we have over there, and the unanimous vote was everyone wanted to go on Saxlingham. So with that in mind, there is a multiplayer server now active on my Discord for all of you to join on if you want to, so please do. If you fancy a bit of a dabble on a multiplayer server with a few good folks over there, please do help yourselves. The link will be in the video description below. Come and say hello. And with that in mind, I've got to say a massive shout out to a couple of individuals. First and foremost, NX Modding. I'm sure those of you who have been in the community for a while will have heard of the name NX Modding. He's a relatively new modder to the scene, I want to say, but my word is his talents have stood out already. He's made some incredible mods, production manager mods, really clever script mods that are, they really have changed the game for a lot of people. So massive shout out to NX Modding, first and foremost because he has spent a huge amount of his own time setting up my multiplayer server for me. He was very kind to offer his services in doing such a thing for me. So NX, mate, if you are watching this video, a massive thank you to you for the time and your services and everything that you've put into that. So yeah, NX has set up this multiplayer server for me. I just haven't had the chance, like I said at the beginning of this video, as I was reeling out my excuses. Real life has been quite busy lately in the last few weeks, and that's why content's been a bit dry on the channel. This is my first video in about a week or so, I think now. But yes, so massive shout out to NX Modding and a massive thank you. I really do appreciate everything you've done for me, mate, in respect of that. It's hugely appreciated. And also to a couple of individuals as well, Dutch Modelling and to Rob Dag as well, who have both jumped on board and offered their services and their time as farm managers over there on the multiplayer server there. So to all of you gentlemen, thank you from the bottom of my heart, everything that you've done for me in respect of sorting out and helping out with the setting up of the multiplayer server is hugely appreciated. If it had been left down to me, it still wouldn't have been done by now. I can guarantee that, unfortunately, because I just wouldn't have been able to get round to it. But yeah, like I say, the map itself is still hugely popular. Look, the overwhelming vote was everyone wanted to stick with Saxlingham, so that's what we've done. And so far, so good. There's a couple of farms on there. There's an arable farm and a contracting farm. But the idea is they both kind of work together and can help each other out here and there on the server. So if you wanted to join a farm on there, you've got the option to join the contracting farm or the arable farm. And there's information going on the Discord there for jobs that need doing and all that kind of stuff working together. So yeah, it's all great. So anyway, this is us almost done. If I just bring up my courseplay HUD, oh there we go, 18 seconds left, or just under, so that's brilliant. So yeah, lovely stuff. Let's have a quick jump into the PDA. There we go, our nitrogen map. Pretty much perfect. So that's the yield as good as it can be now in this potato field. So with that said, with that done, I'm going to finish up here any second now. Obviously I'm on courseplay here, aren't I? So it's going to fold up for me automatically. I'll get this back to the farm, and then what I think I'm going to do now is try and jump. When I get this back to the farm anyway, we will wander round to our little area of grass that I'm going to do the construction in. I'm going to invest this, I think it's about 55 grand for the biogas plant. So we're going to invest that money. We're going to place it down, do a bit of landscaping work, which I'm kind of looking forward to, because I've not actually done any landscaping or construction work for a little bit of time now here in Farming Simulator. But yeah, that's the idea. We'll jump into that, get it all placed down, and then I think the right thing to do from there is, before we do crack on with any more field work, is load up our manure and our slurry into that, get it all loaded in. And what I might need to do, I think I did mention this before, didn't I, but is use the adjustable storage capacity mod when I'm stood next to the BGA and see if I can just increase the quantities and storage capacities of the individual products, so that I can make sure that I can put all of my stuff in there, all of my muck, slurry, etc. Get it all into that. So, back to the farm. I'll see you in a few moments. Right then, we'll just dump this thing here for now, I think. Let's just jump out. We'll have a quick rond around the corner. I want to keep my character kind of out the way of where I'm going to be doing the construction work. So I'm just going to come out to the main road here, I think, and just jump into the construction mode there. And get this BGA placed down. See what we can do with it. I've not done any planning with this or anything. I've just kind of looked at the land myself and thought, right, roughly that's where the BGA will go, and I'll kind of paint a road in there. So yeah, I think I'll bring myself just on the other side of the fence. I'll jump into construction mode now. I think what I might do is I'll bring you guys with me for the journey. I might speed it up and put it into a bit of a time lapse. But yeah, let's get into construction. Where are we? There we are. Oh, that was a bit of a delay, wasn't it? What was going on there? Right, factories. Scroll right down to the bottom, and you'll see the one I'm on about. I mentioned before, comes in 4 variants. You've got the standard version here, just the normal version, and then you've got the normal version but fast, with a bit more of a turned up production speed. And then you've got the concrete cow version there, which has more intricate recipes, I believe. And then you've got the fast version of that concrete cow, as it's called there. But I'm going to go for this mini biogas plant fast version. Obviously, as you can see, it makes no difference whatsoever to the price. 55 grand with just north of 340 grand in the bank. I think I can afford to do this. So this is roughly where I thought I was going to put it. So I think here will do. Just bearing in mind coming in and out of the field and where I'm going to have, obviously I'll wire in part of the auto drive network. There we go. So yeah, it's as good a place as any. There we go. Now of course that has made a little bit of a alteration to the terrain there, but let's jump into here. I did say I was going to maybe put this into a time lapse, but I think I'll just stick with how I'm doing this for now. Just do it as I do it, as it were. Right. So I know this is an aspect of the game that a lot of people don't necessarily see all the time, do they? Is folks jumping in and spending a bit of time in the construction menu. So let's just smooth that off a bit. There has been. Has anyone else noticed this? If I just jump up above here now, can you see the texture of the grass since the last update, since the latest patch? I forget what number we're on now, but the latest patch a week or so ago. If I get right and close up to the grass there, you can see it looks all right. But then I zoom out, and it just kind of goes really patchy. Is that the same for everyone else as well? Be interesting to know. But yeah, there we go. Get that smoothed off a bit. And then what I want to do is essentially just create a bit of a road going in. I don't really want to keep it as that concrete slab. I've never been a fan of doing that. So let's go to painting section. Let's just pick up the grass. We all have our own preferred ways of doing this, don't we? But this has always been mine, is just paint over everything with the grass and then go with the actual grass plant itself. And then we can alter all this in a bit better detail. So that's essentially how I do things anyway. So then we go back to the painting, and I want some kind of... I don't necessarily want the thick mud that's going to get all sloppy and mucky when it gets wet, but I think dirt track. Let's change that cursor shape. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, that's the dirt track, isn't it? So I want to keep the lane roughly about the same width as the road there that it comes in. And I want that lane to... I always tend to start around the area around the building that you're wiring in, as it were. But yeah, we've got the dirt track there. So we'll go from here, and I'll kind of bring it round. Roughly about there, I think. That's not so bad. And then come out again round here and just try and pick up those tracks. There we go. That'll do. It doesn't have to be too neat. It doesn't have to be too even or symmetrical or anything like that. But now we've got the rough layout of that track. That shouldn't be a problem for the tractors coming in and out, especially when I like to do things with auto drive. Now I can start thinking about just touching up the surroundings of this. So maybe a little bit of concrete I think would be a good idea. I do like this farm concrete texture though that we get on this particular map. So let's change that to square roughly and just give it... Yeah, that works, doesn't it? Again, just gives the impression that it's been here for a while, that it's got... Obviously it's only been here for 5 minutes, hasn't it? Not even that, but just that nice broken up concrete rough texture just gives that impression that it's been that it's not brand new, as it were. It's always my preferred option. So there we go. Just gets rid of that grass that I've just painted down. It just, for me, that's just how I like to do things, I suppose. When it, like I said before, painting in all the grass and then the grass itself, the plant grass, and then painting around whatever placeable you've placed down with whatever texture you want. But yeah, that works roughly, doesn't it? Ish. I suppose it's all personal opinion, I guess. But then we go back to the plants. I want some maybe medium level grass. I want to change the cursor shape again to circle, and then just to bring the... You can't really see that very well, can you? Maybe it's something to do with the custom textures on this map, perhaps. But yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. Just give us a bit of a central line. Again, those of us in the UK especially will recognise that. You can't really see that there, though, can you? I suppose I should really do a bit of rough painting in the grass. Get some of this painted grass down first. Where are we? There we are. Change cursor shape. Yeah, let's do that bit first, I think. I will probably spend a little bit more time as well away from camera just tidying this up in the future, but for now, doing it here, I'll just try and make it look a little bit rough and ready. Doesn't have to be too neat. But round here like that. Just like a central lane where the tyres haven't been. There we go. And then I'll go back with that grass because we should hopefully be able to see that a bit more prominent now that I've painted that bit of grass down. It does always annoy me that it reverts back to the... I always prefer staying on the circular cursor shape. But the fact that it always reverts back to square whenever you swap over, that is a feature I'd like it to... like to be changed if possible, to always stay on the circle. Again, no idea why, just my personal preference. And there we go. That'll do nicely, I think. And then when we're done with this bit, I won't spend too much longer doing this now. Just get this bit of grass painted down, and then I need to walk over to it with my character, and then hopefully we should be able to change the capacities. Right, that'll do, I think. Yep, that'll do nicely. So let's hop the fence. But you see what I mean? When I'm on my feet, the texture of the grass looks really, really nice from here up close. But as soon as you jump into flight mode, or high up, it goes all funny. So anyway, right. Fingers crossed. If I come to about here, there we are. Right, brilliant. Okay, so, it looks like the base levels are already pretty good. We've got 350,000 litres of slurry. Oh, 360,000. Perfect. And we've got 150,000 litres of manure. Oh, brilliant. Right, I don't need to do anything like that. But as you can see, still another, just an example of this adjust storage capacity mod in its plate. In plate, we can change all the different quantities here, so that's great. So, don't need to do any alterations. That's great. But what I do need to do now is just muck around for a few minutes, just loading up with the manure and the slurry. So I'll get all that done. And I'll pick you up in a few minutes' time when that's done. Or quite a few minutes' time, anyway. See you in a few. Right, I am going to bring you with me for a little bit of this one, because I'm actually going to put this storage capacity adjustment to the test. So, I need to see what exactly I've got in this heap here. There we go. We do get the option to start filling automatically. I am going to do that with this one. Ordinarily, I do kind of prefer on this series anyway to do things manually, dig out the telehandler and the bucket, but for the sake of dealing with these big quantities, I'm just going to do it automatically. So, what have we got? 128,225 litres of manure. So, I'm going to see if I can do it all in one go. So, if I walk up to this and press K, let's call it 130,000. So, let's delete that. 130,000. There we go. In fact, no, I'm going to make it a bit more because I know I've got some other manure. Let's call it 160,000. There we go. Boom. Yeah, I've got this manure heap, and I've got one over there in the other barn as well, and there's a little bit over at the pigs. So I jump into this thing back again. Start filling. What do you mean 58,000 litres? Ah, interesting. I've had that a few times. I'm sure those of you out there may have experienced that as well, but yeah. Bit of an odd reading there. There's nowhere else in this cow barn that I can get manure from. But there we go. We should be able to empty that completely, which would be great. And the one thing I did want to show, the reason for doing this, there we go, is it doesn't really affect the mass. It's been very cleverly done so that the trailer doesn't become far too heavy and far too cumbersome or anything like that, so that's great. So let's pop this gate open there. You little ones stay in there now. Let's get jumped in here. Had I thought about this, I'd have moved the telehandler out the way, but out the way, please, little one. There we are. Oh goodness me, what's happened here? Oh, you're joking. Just done a Clarkson, haven't I? Tractor's too big. Oh, damn it. Right, okay. What I will have to do, I think, is firstly run through my cow. I don't like doing that. But yeah, what I think I'm going to have to do here, while I get myself into a bit of a shift the telehandler. I'm going to have to use the telehandler to build the trailer into there to pick up the manure. So yeah, I'll sort this one out, and I'll see you in a few moments' time over at the biogas plant. Right then, realism is key. Look at what I've got behind me. Just over 350,000 litres of slurry. Now, I'm not going to make a point of doing this all the time. Like I said before, I just wanted to have a bit of a go with this mod. But yeah, 350,000 litres of slurry. Surprised the tyres haven't exploded already, but we should be able to pull up here. Now, this could take a minute or two to unload, but there we go. Get that unloaded. Now, also, I need to make another quick apology, actually. I've just listened back to a couple of the clips that I've already recorded in this episode, and unfortunately, I've just noticed a weird clicking noise that was occurring every time I was talking. I've just unplugged. Essentially, all I could figure out to do was turn OBS off and on again, and also unplug my microphone. I think it's sorted. I'm hoping that this recording, I've just done a test recording a moment or so ago, and it seemed to be okay. So I'm hoping that isn't happening anymore. So I do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, as you can see, it's counting down relatively slowly. But I have sorted out our production systems. And got them working as I want it to be. So the manure is obviously, I put that to auto selling, and obviously then we get the electricity and the methane that we get from that is auto selling as well, and we're storing the digestate because it's still handy to have some natural liquid fertilizer, as it were, to use with this tank behind me. So even though we're getting rid of our slurry, we'll still get the digestate. But yeah, this is going to take a good moment or two. Ticking down there relatively slowly. It did take a good few minutes to load up as well. So yeah, I'll get this done. I'll spend a good few minutes here, and while I'm waiting in between these next few clips, I will just listen back to this one and hope that the that weird microphone clipping has gone. But yeah, next on the cards, I think we're going to jump in the JCB, and while it's a lovely evening, what are we on, 4:20, it will no doubt take a good couple of hours because it's a relatively big field, but we're going to go and get the canola drilled in field 37. So I'll stay here for quite a while, and I'll catch you shortly. And we'll be loading up with some seed and some solid fertilizer and getting drilling our canola. Righto, back at the farm. I'm just going to abandon this like I have the New Holland there with the sprayer on the back. I don't normally make a point of leaving my yards untidy, but I think for now I'm just going to crack on and get this seed into the ground, and I'll tidy up later. Why not? But yeah, I do think that microphone clipping I've managed to get rid of it, so forgive me for bringing it up again. But yeah, I think it's gone now. But right, so we've got a little bit of seed and solid fert in the back behind us here, but we're just going to roll on forward just in front of us there to our little discounted purchase point shed thing there, and load up with what we need. Fill the tanks up. Right, let me unfold this, because I think, well, you do with this one. You need to unfold it before you can fill it up. But if I just give myself enough room, there we are. That should be us, and we'll fill that up with seed. That didn't take long. 472, and then solid fertilizer there. 762. Right, great stuff. In fact, let's close those covers first, then fold up. Now, I'm pretty certain that we're going to need to come back. In fact, do you know what? No. I'm going to have another go with this one, actually. Let's unfold that. Because I'm pretty certain I would have had to come back for this one if these were the standard quantities. But if I just wander up to that, we're going to give it, let's just double it and see how it goes, shall we? So we'll give it 5,000 litres of seeds, and we'll give it 6,000 litres solid fertilizer. Yeah, why not? Because I can. Well, let's jump into that. Should have been opening the doors there, shouldn't I, really? But let's just pull back and hopefully get the where's the trigger? I might need to There we go. Come back again. Where's the trigger gone for that? There we are. That's better. So, a little bit more solid fert. 2,400 quid. And the seeds hasn't worked there, has it? Interestingly. Let's just try that again. We've still got 2,400 litres of seeds there, so... Okay. Let's give that 5,000 litres. Yep. There we go. Get back... There we go, right, okay. It's now registered. Seeds. Excellent. Done. Bit of faffing around there. But yeah, 5,000 litres of seeds, 6,000 litres of solid fert. Let's see how far that goes, because like I say, field 37 is a pretty decent sized field, so that might have saved me a trip. It might not have done, but we'll see. So, out to the field. Let's get this drilled. We've got a lovely evening ahead of us. Good couple of hours, no doubt, in this field, so I'll get this job done. We'll stick some tunes on. In fact, I don't actually think there's a visual stereo system in this tractor, so I'll just pretend. There you go. Hit a button. Stick some tunes on, and I'll see you in a while. Right, welcome back, folks. So, just come back to the field now after I think it was the second or third refill of solid fertilizer, relatively recently anyway. Yeah, it's taken a couple of refills of that, but it's all good. A few £1,000s on that. But we have also had, in the last couple of hours, started getting a bit of an income coming in, roughly about £1,000 an hour from the biogas plant. So that's really good. Now, it's not going to last forever, of course. You know, it is quite fast. I haven't sped up the speed of the BGA now using the extra production control mod. I've just kept it at the base 100% because it is already a faster BGA. But it's all good. We're going to get a little bit of income in from that anyway. Like I say, roughly about £1,000 an hour, which is great. But I just wanted to jump in here because I've still got, like I say, a little bit of time left finishing this field. But look at this. This is just brilliant. This is what we see in real life when you're out in the fields working your soil with drills and with cultivators and with ploughs. The birds flock down and try and grab those worms, don't they, when we've turned over the soil. And look at that. Honestly, it's such an incredible addition to the immersion of this game. An absolute must-have mod as far as I'm concerned. It really is. Just brilliant. Such an incredible addition. It really is. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to jump in kind of here and show you that. We've still got a little bit of the up and down roads to finish off just between here and there, and then we've got the headlands, but yeah, it's not going to take me too long. But I think I'm going to carry on doing this after the video, so in a relative change to how I normally end my videos when jobs are done, I'm going to end it here when it's not quite done. But it's all good, like I say, I'm going to just finish off here, get the job done off camera as it were. But for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the like button a hit too as well, if you wouldn't mind. It does do wonders. Helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a number of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs, there is coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support there, ladies and gentlemen, would be massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.